How y'all doing today? I want to welcome you aboard the $2 more. This is a Bayliner 2859. But we're here to talk about my rigging table. You know, I looked long and hard for the rigging table that I wanted, and either it didn't exist or something like this, it went for $2,000 to $3,000 range, and my pockets weren't that deep, so I decided to make my own. This here is a Magma top. It is a 48-inch top. I managed to score this one used, so that was the beginning of everything. And you know, a square inch on a boat is like a square foot in a house, so that's why I opted for the biggest one. You can find these little add-ons here for your utility type stuff, for pliers and knives and such online. You can find whatever works for you and just screw it right to the side of your table. It's not a big deal. And I know when I wanted to mount it, one of my major concerns was the height. And a lot of the ones that were out there, if I mounted them right to my gunnel, then, well, that wouldn't have worked for me because it would have been too low. I wanted a nice comfortable height to clean fish at. You know, at the end of the day, when you're tired and your back's already killing you from cleaning fish, you don't want to be all hunched over cleaning your fish at the end of the day. I found this product here at a sportsman show. This is made by Miller Marine Products. So he makes these cleats, and these he calls a dog bone. And the dog bones, I think they come in like 6, 8, and 10-inch lengths. And you see that they've got all these adjustment holes here, so you can just adjust the weight to whatever works for you. And this happened to work for me. These are, I think, the 8-inch ones, and they're plenty stout. They're made of aircraft aluminum, and I wanted something that could take the full weight of one of my buddies losing their balance in high seas and grabbing onto this thing to catch their balance. And I've already had that happen, and it doesn't move. Those are plenty stout. I can't say enough for the product. And I don't promote them, you know, because I'm paid. It's just a darn good product. It took me a while to find them. So let's see, on the top here, just got a little non-skid for shelves on there. I recommend finding it online. It's a lot more expensive if you get it in the boat store. So, but a lot of folks I've seen in some of the pictures I viewed online, they got their bait box here, and they've got it all boxed in with the marine lumber, and that's kind of too definite for me. I didn't want to dedicate that much space to it, because sometimes I want it there, sometimes I don't. So that non-skid there, it works great. Works even better if you wet it a little bit. Nothing moves around up there, and it's completely removable when you go to clean your fish. This is just I got this straight edge out of a hardware store at a Lowe's, and just countersunk a few screws in there to hold it in place. It's an 1/8 inch thick, so when I'm here and I'm spraying down my fish and everything, just that little lip keeps everything from rolling down, all the water from rolling down onto my feet and such, and down inside here. So the cabinet down below, so this is made from high density polyethylene, aka starboard lumber, you might know it as, but there's a lot of manufacturers that make it, and if you buy starboard, you're just gonna pay a lot more for the name. So I got this stuff here at a place called Plasters. I think they're national, and I'm here in the Northwest, and they got 4 or 5 places. And the great thing about them is, once I decided what I wanted, had it all measured up, I gave them a cut list, and I came back and picked up all my pieces. They were all ready and perfect sized and perfect cuts, and they rounded the edges for me where I wanted them to, and it was very reasonably priced compared to what I've seen online. So this latch, this is known as a slam latch, okay? That's how it works. But you know, I seen that latch down at the marine store for about $45. I picked this one up online for, I don't know, $12 or $13. It's solid metal, it's plenty stout. It'll keep an honest man honest and keep people out of my gear. It's lockable, okay? I wanted something that could handle 2 different size storage boxes. These boxes here, the smaller ones for all my spoons and hoochies and such. We do a lot of salmon fishing and trolling up here. And then another box for all my terminal tackle. Anybody who's back here has easy access to it. They don't need to ask me for it. One of these bigger, deeper boxes with no compartments for all the bigger junk you end up having, all the dipsy divers and just larger, awkward stuff you got to find a place for. This is perfect for all my flashers. We're always trying to find a box or a place for all the spare flashers and such. And I just put a couple screws in here, left them about 3/4 high. That's just enough to keep those from popping out like that when you're underway and such. So pretty easy. I just threw a little bit of aluminum angle in here, a couple of screws to hold it in there, and it was pretty simple. Piano hinge, ordered that online, stainless steel. Just cut it to length. Worked out fine. When you go to put that in, if you're going to do something like this, remember to alternate your screws. If you put screws opposite one another, it will not close. The heads bump into each other. Yeah, so that works great. I wanted it up high enough so I can still get a hand under here and do cleaning, so it just doesn't totally mold out on me. Let's see, I made sure I had holes in the back side, so this whole thing you can just spray down with water and you're not going to hurt it, you know, for cleaning up. And oh, before I forget to mention, you want to make sure you get the boxes with the gasket seal on them. This keeps all your gear dry, especially keeps all the salt air off of it. So if you're a saltwater fisherman, so your gear won't be rusted out next year when you go to grab it. Let's see. Oh, about working with starboard lumber. A lot of people say it's just like working with wood. Well, it is and it isn't. It'll cut like wood with a circular saw and such, and you can drill it and all that good stuff. But one thing you got to keep in mind, wherever you're going to put a screw in, you have to drill a hole for it. Okay, you have to pre-drill. This stuff is a lot denser, and if you're just screwing into it, whatever material you're screwing into is gonna go somewhere. It wants to push away. And I say that because I'll show you this on the bottom here. You see that little slip joint that I made here, and I'll talk about this in a minute. I have a lot of screws that I drove from the bottom up into the underside of the deck. Well, it's only a 1/2 inch thick, so I had to gauge freehand how far to drill down, and I didn't do it just quite enough. You might see a little tiny remnants of a pimple right here and there where those screws came up. So I didn't, you know, I probably needed to drill an extra 1/16 of an inch, and when I drove those screws home, it caused a little bit of a pimple. No big deal, and no harm, no foul. I just took a razor blade and shaved it, and it's fine. If I didn't tell you about it, you probably wouldn't even know it was there, but just something to keep in mind when you're working with this product. So about these here, so I made my own. This is just a dado joint, little slip joint there, Wingnut. So, and what this allows me to do is, if I have the need to, I can slide this whole table forward and back. Well, why would you want to do that? Well, got a swim step back here, and if I ever had the need to work on my kicker motor or change my prop out, I guarantee you, every time I stand up, I'm just going to either hit my head or wrench my back into this thing and regret it. So if I ever have the need to get out there, I can undo those areas, and I can slide that whole table forward and give me a free and clean working space back there. So once again, every square inch on a boat is like a square foot in a house. So the more versatility you can do, the better. So that's it for me. This worked for me. Hope it gives you some ideas. So take care.